Hi, everybody. It's Sandra Valida Sandini, Inner Dragon Transformation Specialist, as well as the Dragon Ally and Galactic Shaman. And I have my beautiful friend from the World Mastermind Café, Christina de Souza. And I'd love to, first of all, tell you a little bit about her. She is the founder of the World Mastermind Café, Inc., a transformative space where thought leaders, change makers, and heart-centered entrepreneurs gather to intentionally grow their dreams. As a master neuro-linguistic practitioner and solution focused systematic coach, Christina is dedicated to fostering an environment where powerful insights are shared, real value is created, and growth happens intentionally. At the heart of this community are growth minded professionals gathered to seed knowledge, nurture meaningful connections, cultivate progress, and harvest the collective wisdom. Through collaboration, we create lives we love to lead and businesses that thrive, together enriching the journey for the greater good of all. And she helps change makers, thought leaders, and heart-centered, growth-minded entrepreneurs to create lives they love to lead and businesses that thrive. So hi, Christina.
Hi, Sandra. Thank you for having me today.
For sure. We are going to be having a little bit of fun, something out of the ordinary. I've got some random questions that I'm really looking forward to asking you. So I'm going to share my screen first of all, because we're going to play the game and see what question comes up. After it claps, I'll tell you, okay? Say it out loud. So, Christina, what's a personal mantra or quote you live by?
Mm, feeling on purpose.
Mm.
Yeah, I would have to say it's feeling on purpose. It's something I've learned and leaned into. And when we stop looking for a singular purpose, like, oh, I have found a purpose out there, or I have a life purpose. When I stopped looking for that singular thing and allowed myself to feel on purpose just because on a regular basis, life really changed.
Mm.
Beautiful thing I like to lean into on a regular basis and feeling on purpose is a saying or mantra that sums that up really quick for me.
I love that. And for the audience and those who are catch this either before the or during the gift giveaway that I have coming up, as well as after the fact, I think this is a beautiful standalone for people to get to know you better as well. I personally absolutely love mantras. They changed my life as well in a very powerful way. And if you are part of my audience, you definitely will have heard me say them. And if you're not part of my audience, then you will likely hear them in different places. Anyway, I love that you shared yours. I feel like the power of that. Can you say it again before we move on to the next question? Everybody close your eyes, please, and go ahead and say your mantra again.
Feel on purpose.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. The next question that I have for you. Hmm. So, Christina, if you could swap lives with any celebrity for a day, who would it be and why?
Oh, that is a question, Sandra. Wow. Okay, so without deeper sort of, and I think celebrity, um,
Go with
someone
what you
who,
feel comfortable with. It doesn't necessarily need to be a celebrity, I think. Okay.
yeah, but as you said, the word celebrity, I think of someone who's been highly celebrated, and that would be like an Oprah Winfrey, for example. And immediately I think, oh, if that was who I picked, because that was who came to mind first, what would be the reason for thinking of her? And I think it's that she speaks to the most incredible people on the most incredible heart centered topics. And for that reason, that curiosity part of me would want to lean in to explore that human nature the way that she does.
Mm, I love that because that, in essence, one of the things I want to share with people is when you bring up someone just like Christina has done with Oprah, it is because they're already within you. And Christina, I so see that in you already, how much you are like Oprah, that the people that you enjoy sitting in front of and asking questions, that you can pull out their beautiful heart energy, and you've created a beautiful heart space as well for them. So I see that in you already. I love it.
I did not see that coming. Wow. Thank you. I'll have to sit with that.
Yeah, yeah. So moving on to the next question. If money and time weren't an issue, what passion project would you dive into?
Oh, you see, when I think that people have a dream and they know what it is, whether money's involved or not, you're doing what you're doing for a reason. And I would say that that is literally my company. It's my reason behind founding the World Mastermind Cafe. It's a place for people to come and allow that seeded dream, that potential within them to grow and blossom and bloom. And whether I was getting paid or not, Sandra, you could not stop me from the work that I'm doing. It is too much, it brings too much joy and excitement to see people live into their potential, and really the world needs the gifts that people have and their dreams to become reality for all of us. If only we could just step in a little more.
I love that. My hair stood up on my arms when you were speaking because I felt the truth of that. I felt the power of that.
Mm.
And I think you and I are really in alignment with regards to wanting to assist people to really bring their passion projects into that being their life versus having a life thinking about a passion project, that it actually becomes their life. And you are truly the epitome of that. And again, like I really want to pump you up for some reason here. And um, I've been a part of that. I've been a part of the World Mastermind Cafe, and it is such a beautiful place for exactly that. There's no judgment in there. There's no hierarchy, if you will, in there. It's a beautiful space where people are coming together and sharing that space and learning how to be collaboration on a whole different dimension and realm, if you will. And I feel the power of what you're saying and why that is what came up for you is the thing that you're already doing.
Mm,
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
thank you.
Just making sure that I changed my screen on the other side. I did, so let me share again. Mm. Christina, what's a moment in your life when you felt truly aligned and in flow?
Oh, there are a handful of moments, and I think for anyone maybe listening, there's a moment where it feels like it clicks, where everything just feels like it's effortless, that the energy just flows. And in my earlier years, these moments were sort of scattered throughout, and now they happen on a regular basis. And that alignment comes from knowing personally what gifts I have and having that be very much a part of the work that I do. And when that all comes together in this beautiful way, it creates a bit of a energy flow. It's like a energizer, a battery that gets charged. And these are the moments I live for. And knowing how to create them for myself, these moments happen more and more.
Mm. I've witnessed the complete look of joy on your face when you are in that flow. So yeah. And when we talk about that, I just want to kind of hone in a little bit deeper with that because I think it's really important for people to understand that that like yes, we're talking about business and things. It's about our life, being in the flow of life, right? I had a moment the other day where I was feeling like I was pressuring myself, and it was like, this is really weird because I'm standing beside my daughter. I'm thinking I shouldn't be pressuring myself. I should be enjoying this moment. And instead I shifted out of that I made a conscious decision to shift out of that mindset or that feeling and go, okay, I want to enjoy this. And even consciously saying that, I was able to start to move into the energy of that and be in the flow of that. So this is something that is very powerful in all aspects of your life as well. Did you want to speak a little bit more to that?
Hmm. Yes, I think that being able to, it's interesting. You've used the words feel on purpose almost right in there when you decided to feel a different way on purpose. You purposefully chose a different feeling to feel and stepped on in. Uh, when we realize that as human beings, we have this incredible flexibility with this full spectrum of emotion, we stop going to the few little emotions we feel on a regular basis and we start pulling out the ones we want to feel on a more regular basis. And because we can do that, we can curate the experience we want deliberately with intention. And it's more than, well, it is the law of attraction, but it's more than just sort of, I thought it, now it's going to happen, and we're waiting for some magic wand to take place. It's, I can imagine it. I can see it in my mind's eye. I can step in and imagine and see how that might feel. And I can actually, because I can do that, I can actually feel in this moment what that feeling is. Very
Mm.
much like if I said, oh, imagine I'm holding a bright yellow lemon and we all took a big bite. Our mouths pucker, our mouths are actually producing saliva. This is a human natural response. And there is no lemon present other than in our mind's eye. And that's how quickly we can change our state. So, what I heard you share, Sandra, was so beautiful in that it's having one, the awareness that you were in a particular state to start off with, having an emotion that you were feeling. And once you tapped and went, oh, I don't know that this is actually how I want to be feeling. There's this other feeling I'm wanting to have. Shifted and stepped on it and went, ooh, I'm liking this better. And then took in the moment for what it could be instead of just letting it be what it was without awareness, letting it pass, and perhaps in hindsight, complaining, even potentially. As humans, we like to do that every now and then, complain about the thing we weren't willing to be aware of in the moment we were having the emotion. So after we complain about the lack or loss of it, where in that moment we were fully human, not broken, and we had the full spectrum of emotion to choose from.
Wow.
So these beautiful moments. Yeah.
I love that. And I want people to write in the comments how they felt with that lemon piece because I felt it in my, I literally felt it. Like that was so comical. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we have one last question. Christina, what's your favorite song that always lifts your mood?
Okay. I'm really bad at name titles and who sings them, but I want to say it's Ain't No Mountain High Enough. I'm pretty sure we know what song this is, right? If that isn't the title, I'm pretty sure we know
Ain't
which song.
no mountain high enough. Yeah.
Yes. In my household, this song could play and it might as well been a Harlem Shake. Everything would stop. My kids would come running and, whatever was in hand, whether it was a pen or a hairbrush, it became a microphone and there we were jamming out. So this song is power packed with not only great lyrics, great emotional vibes that really have you look at that epic adventure that's available to you, but it brings back some very precious moments from my children are full grown adults. They're not little ones anymore. So this takes me back a good 30 years into fabulous memories.
Oh, I really feel that. And I love that because I love singing. You probably could tell because I burst into song immediately. I have a favorite song too, and that's Lady Gaga's Applause. Every time I hear that. However, I have a very specific memory of a completely different song. And I remember being in this wide open field and we had all our campers there. It was a music festival and Wide Mouth Mason was there. And I heard the first three notes of the song they were about to play. And you have not ever seen anybody move themselves from a travel trailer and get across that field so fast. You're like, it was a song, Change. change. Like I love that song. And I flew. Like I touched the ground actually. But yeah, it's something about music and songs. I know how much it changed my husband's life when he was gifted a an iPod from the kids and I. Because but before then, he was really caught up in what was going on with himself, with the world, whatever. And as soon as we introduced music to him in a different format that he had more easily accessible, it to me it changed his life. And that's what I'm hearing with this song for you. There's ain't no mountain high enough. That it's one of those game changers that it doesn't matter what you're doing. Yeah. It's one of those ones you sit in the car and you wait for it to finish, whether you're parked or whatever, right?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a bit of a music junkie, if you want to call it that. I love having a soundtrack to every kind of potential mood I want to be in or find myself in and want to shift. My life definitely has a soundtrack to it. My feet are often dancing, not walking, and I don't care if people are watching or not. And often I am dancing by myself with no spectators at all. So music is just it's a beautiful gift, I think, that people could certainly lean into for lots of inspiration.
I want to give people a little bit more background about you too that they may not know, and just bear with me because I want to share my own story as well. I used to work at Shoppers Drug Mart, and that's a Canadian store. I think it might be down in the States. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. I think it might be a Canadian store. Anyway, I was a sh shelf stalker. That's the right word. It doesn't sound right. And like there was always music playing at Shoppers Drug Mart. If you go into Shoppers Drug Mart, there's always music playing. Well, I was known for walking and stocking shelves and singing. That was what people knew me for. And they were like, hey, you weren't working the other day when I was there. I missed you singing in the hallways and stuff. But yeah. And now I also know a little bit of another little piece about your background is you were also a dance instructor, correct?
I supported, yeah, I supported different dance schools teach Latin dance when I came back from South America. I wasn't formally trained in sort of like the traditional ballroom style. I was very blessed and I learned on the streets of Brazil with, in the real culture, real authentic style of dance. And when I came back home to Canada, it was actually a longing to dance, and I couldn't find any venues. And then when I did, it wasn't an evening out dancing, it was a class. So I thought, oh, I'll go take some classes. And I got there and they asked me if I wanted to help teach. And that started a very fun career in professional dancing and got to perform and on some pretty big stages. And yeah, it's a beautiful just expression, artistic expression through movement. I was a figure skater when I was younger, a gymnast. So yeah, when you have that physical need to express, thank goodness there's these wonderful things that allow us to express ourselves through, like music, like dance.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Love that. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing and playing along with these questions. In the spring equinox gift giveaway, you also have a beautiful gift for the audience, and that's an introduction to your sacred gifts. It's a 90-minute workshop. Would you like to share a little bit about what that is?
Absolutely. This is a beautiful gift that I received, decades ago now, Sandra. It is a program that was created by Monique McDonald. And there's this beautiful 90-minute introduction to sacred gifts. There's 24 of them. We're all born with them. We all have, 3, 4, 5 gifts within us. They're innate to us. They're not something we have to learn. And because of that, they're a beautiful thing to uncover. Now, I know that a lot of your audience are business owners, and many, many, many of us are coaches. And the number one thing, well, at least according to the Coaching Federation, number one reason coaches do not succeed in business and get through that first 3 years of business is due to imposter syndrome. We
Mm.
don't believe we have something to offer. We don't know what our genius zone is. We don't know what those gifts are. And sacred gifts, we all have them. So when you discover what they are, which is what this 19-minute introduction does, it really introduces you to what sacred gifts are. It helps you understand some of the characteristics of a gift. It also there's not quite time to introduce you to all 24 gifts, but there are 7 different categories that these gifts fall into, and it helps us discern what some of our categories might be. And from there, there's a beautiful invitation to learn and take a deep dive further. But in this workshop, there is a tremendous amount of value. And I think the most significant, the piece that I took away as a business owner, as a coach, as a person who knew I was gifted, wanted to step into that genius zone, really felt like I had something to give the world, a real difference to make, was the feel on purpose formula. This
Mm.
is taking those beautiful sacred gifts that you'll uncover, plus these meaningful things to that we get to do in the world, and when all of this comes together, it really gives us this beautiful outcome of feeling on purpose. And if there was anything, of all the things I've learned, of all the things I've studied, gotten certified in, all the things, this is the most beautiful, shiniest little tool in my toolbox, because you just cannot deny what your gifts are. Once you see them, you can't unsee them. Once you know what your gifts are, you really do understand the purpose you have that you could fulfill in the world, and you get to do it feeling on purpose on a regular basis, because the energy and that effortlessness that comes from being authentically you, work becomes easier, life becomes easier. And whether you in the audience listening to this are someone, like I'm saying, as a business owner, but just as a family member, I'm part of a big family, knowing how to contribute in my gifts is a blessing to them and to me. Knowing how to be part of a team, a community, kids soccer teams, or your organization, your church, or whatever it is in your life that you are contributing yourself to, knowing that you have beautiful gifts that are going to trump any kind of skill or learned talent any day of the week and then some. This is a beautiful opportunity. So yes, in this opportunity that Sandra, you are gifting, I'm also gifting this opportunity, this workshop. It's coming up, and if the next date doesn't work, this is something that happens monthly, so you'll be able to take advantage when it works for you, when the
I
timing's
love
best.
that. Thank you so much, Christina. And yeah, she made a very good point there. For those of you who are watching this in spring of 2025, that these videos are going to be evergreen. So here you get to learn a little bit about Christina, and also the fact that this is going to be something that's ongoing. This is a gift that she will have on her calendar for the foreseeable future, and that's the introduction to your sacred gifts 90-minute workshop. Thank you, Christina, for playing along today. This has been a lot of fun.
Oh, I've so enjoyed myself, Sandra. Thank you so much for the invite. It's my pleasure to be here.
Thank you.